Hello and welcome to today's edition of the News in Brief. In the headlines, Supreme Court dismisses Mahama's review application and Hawa Koomson apologizes for firing gunshots at a voter registration center in Kasoa. News in Brief is brought to you by
Graphic Communication is giving you the opportunity to have news not only in hard copy but also in a digital form. Download your Graphic News Plus now and choose your preferred package daily, weekly, monthly, and annually, and access free news on various interest areas as well. Graphic News Plus, connecting people through news.
And now the details. The Supreme Court has dismissed a review application by former President John Mahama, challenging the court's decision to compel the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Mrs. Jean Adukoyi-Mensah, to adduce evidence.
Counsel for the petitioner, Mr. Chachuchikata, speaking on the application, submitted that his client wanted Mrs. Mensah to testify not because they wanted the court to compel the EC to adduce evidence, but because Mrs. Mensah had made representations in her affidavit to testify.
My Lord, I specifically took the opportunity to draw your Lordship's attention to what I believe is still relevant in the motion. That is that we did not file, we filed this motion ahead of the deadline that your Lordship has set for the filing of written addresses, because, my lords, we wanted the matter of that deadline for written addresses to be dealt with in the context of that motion. That's why that motion has still relevance. And I respectfully drew your Lordship's attention to the fact that as we speak, your orders, indeed, which are pending, say that there should be simultaneous, in spite of Order 36, Rule 43.
Lawyers for the two respondents, Mr. Justin Amenuvo and Mr. Akoto-Ampao, in their argument opposed the review application and said the petitioner was using the review as a backdoor attempt to re-argue his case for the EC chairperson to testify.
I was trying to point out to the court that this particular motion on notice for stay of proceedings is filed pending the application for review that has just been determined. So, my lord, it's either my learned friend withdraws the motion or is struck out because it's moot.
My lords, I completely associate myself with counsel for first respondent, and to say that I do not know what this current application is saying. It cannot be staying the application for review, which has been settled. So it has no purpose and ought to be struck out if it's not ready to withdraw it.
But in its ruling on Thursday, the 9-member review panel of the court unanimously held that lawyers for Mr. Mahama failed to meet the criteria for review as stipulated by law. They also said that Mr. Mahama's lawyers did not raise any point, neither did they provide any exceptional circumstance for which the court should review its ruling on February 11.
By court. This court is the opinion that the application for stay of proceedings was filed to stay proceedings before the hearing of the motion for review application. We think that as the motion for review has been determined by the full bench, the application for stay of proceedings is moot and same is struck out. The petition is adjourned to Monday, the 22nd of February 2021 at 9:30 a.m. for the pending applications to be taken.
Spokespersons for the petitioner, the second respondent, had these comments on the ruling.
We are in no position to anticipate the decision of the courts on the applications pending before it, which will be heard on Monday. And we are in no position to anticipate their decision on this matter. What we have said is that no matter how it goes, Ghanaians can discern the truth for themselves, and we will all know the truth, and the truth will set us free. And so we are determined that regardless of how many interlocutory applications, are determined in a certain way, we are not giving up, we are not giving in, and we are doing this for God and country.
Really some misconceptions that need to be clarified. With this argument of estoppel that keeps on being bandied about, The court firmly dismissed this argument and stated that it does not apply in these circumstances. The court further held that the strength of your case does not depend on the weakness of your opponent's case. And as such, the petitioner keeps on coming to us stating that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo did not obtain more than 50% of total valid votes cast. Where are your figures? Show us your figures. We are not getting anything from the petitioner nor his witnesses. And as such, we are still lost as to why we are in court.
The Minister Designate for Fisheries and Aquaculture Development, Mavis Hawa Koomson, says she regrets firing gunshots at a voter registration center in Kasoa in the Central Region last year. During her vetting in Parliament today, she apologized for the act.
It was an unfortunate incident, Mr. Chairman, which I wish it never happened on that day. And I don't also pray that it ever happens again in the history of our politics in Ghana. Mr. Chairman, I want to seize this opportunity to also apologize to the people who were so scared on that day. It was in defense of myself because I felt my life was in danger, the circumstance that I found myself. That day, I thought I needed to have saved my life by defending my life there.
What is fish farming? And what are some of the advantages of fish farming?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will try my best. Fish farming is the process of rearing of fish in the reservoirs and the fish ponds, etc. Thank you. One advantage of fish farming is it makes the farmer earn some income. It also increases fish in our community for consumption. Thank you.
The Minister Designate for Information, Mr. Kojo Oponkroma, was also vetted by Parliament today.
When you are giving that brief, how are you doing that to a private citizen, or in what capacity are you doing that?
Oh, I think the designation is very clear in that instance that I am the lead spokesperson for the President's legal team, explaining the legal positions as have been advanced in court, explaining the view of the second respondent, and responding sometimes to comments that have been made by the spokespersons for the petitioner's legal team.
So how do you then separate or differentiate your role in speaking for the state and speaking for candidate Akufo-Addo?
So, Chairman, how we do that is that very often we try to let our address be known. So there are many instances in which during our briefs we say that this is the position of the Akufo-Addo administration. In fact, I think my colleagues in the media will tell you that I am the one who profusely uses that expression, that the Akufo-Addo administration, and that there is one government of Ghana. This is the view of the government of Ghana. And when we are speaking for the state as well, we're able to make that distinction.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow with another edition. Stay safe and protect yourself from COVID-19. For more news, visit graphic.com.gh or log on to Facebook at Daily Graphic and on YouTube at GraphicGH. I'm Mahama Befi.